Joe, Shaun, welcome back to the deal of the week. How you guys doing right before Thanksgiving? What's going on?
I'm feeling great today. How are you guys doing?
A little bit better than last week, but that's not saying much. Cap rate expectations increasingly higher and higher by the day.
But it feels like there's more buyers around the holiday time, huh? Little Black
Everyone's
Friday
hanging
sales.
around the hoop and they don't know how to put it in.
Yeah. There's a lot of.
There's a few buyers that know how to close deals. We finally signed we signed a contract today.
Did you? Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, we signed
Awesome.
a contract today.
We're closing like 4 today,
40,
but those are
40
all
units on the Upper East
originated
Side.
90 days ago.
I had
There's deals getting done, guys.
Yeah, deals are getting done. It's funny. We've been working really hard on getting a couple of contracts signed. Like for a few months, we were working with one buyer, and then we finally got him to sign the contracts. And it's been like several days since the seller's been able to countersign. They're just working on all their internal approvals and whatnot. So it's like
That sounds like a problem.
You pull your hair out for this type of stuff. It's like a broker's worst nightmare. You work so hard, and now you got to leave it to the investment committee to get it over the finish line.
All right, let's talk about the new deals that we're actually selling.
Good idea. Let's bring this up for you, Joey. I'll show you guys some pictures in a second. This is the package in the East Village, right, Joe? What's going on?
We got Greenwich Village, Soho, and East Village. It's 129 units. We're asking a 5.25 cap on the entire portfolio. They can be broken up and sold individually. The rents are solid on the free market rents. There's still some room to grow. Like I said, we're asking a 5.25 cap, 11 times the rent, just under $800 a foot for the blended portfolio. But for example, 99 East 7th Street is going to trade around $450 a foot at a 5.5 cap. Oh, you landed right on it.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, this deal, I remember a couple of weeks ago, we did this individually. I mean, this just looks like a slam dunk.
Yeah, so we have a lot of action on this one, even though it's 65% stabilized. Across the portfolio, you're about 72% market rate. We're getting, as I mentioned, a lot of interest as clusters and also as a portfolio, but most likely it looks like there's going to be a lot of individual buyers picking off the ones they want.
Why is this one, Joe? Sorry to cut you off.
Sure,
This
no
one
problem.
seems like abnormally cheap, right? You said you're asking a 5.25 for the package and like $750 or $800 a foot, something like that for the package.
Go to the rent roll. It's because the rent stabilizer really
Yeah,
low,
because
but
this
it's
is
still
65% regulated, and the rents, as you can see, are on the lower side.
Huh.
But you still got the 1,000, the 1680, the 1533. You got the antenna, which looks cheap even for an antenna. I never see a antenna lease for under $1,000 a month. What kind of antenna is that? It's like a old school Bronx cable dish.
I don't know. I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture for you next time. I mean, listen, we're not in Brooklyn, all right? And things are normal in Manhattan.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it's actually the antennas, like people are buying these things for like 20 times the rent roll. So that's 100. You could go sell the antenna.
There you go. We just blended down the GRM even less. Let's go.
Yeah, nice.
So, great addresses, 120 McDougal, 156 Sullivan. We have another add-on to the portfolio at 54 Barrow Street that we're launching in the next couple of days. But again, these buildings are all clean. A lot of these renovations are 8 years old. So there's room to, spruce up the buildings and grow the rents. At the end of the day, seller is motivated to move this and is actively engaging with the market and countering bids. So I'd encourage everyone, reach out if you have any interest.
Very nice. All right, Riney, Carroll Street.
We're going to go into a slightly less desirable area, but this is not bad. This is basically just a property like a number of them that from a broker's perspective, when you get so many people thinking about it but not doing it, there's usually something there. So I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people saying, someone's going to buy this. And I'm like, well, are you going to buy it? No, not me, but someone will. So that someone still hasn't identified themselves, but this is as cheap as you can get, or at least as cheap as you've seen in the last, kind of 8 to 10 years, 7.9 times the rent, 6% cap rate in place, 35 unit elevator building, Eastern Crown Heights, $109 per square foot. So if you're buying the legislative changes, if you're buying $1,000 average rents at 6% cap rates going in, and basically an entire building for $109 per square foot in New York City, this is a building you probably should just like cut a check for and just wait.
How is this part? You're facing the park here. I mean, normally that would be pretty nice, no?
It's workforce housing. The building is not bad. It's been owned by great stewards for the last 40 years. Very few violations, very little arrears. I mean, it's just so cheap. You just look at the building, you're like, really, $4.2 million? Really?
So what's the
This
real
is
hesitation? Is it all cap rate driven? I mean, are people
it's
telling you
it's
7
a-
caps? What are
Well,
they
there's
shooting?
no preps. Look.
yeah,
you-
it's a
there's-
combination of you have, yeah,
Right.
great 6% cap rate, but interest rates are 6% and expenses are, this is properly underwritten, but they're probably going up and there's no current vehicle to raise income. So if you're looking for capitulation as a result of June 2019, it kind of took a while to get here, but this is what that looks like. And if you get the right bet right and you can own it for a long enough time period to wait for some type of mechanism, you'll make a lot of money here.
Yeah, nicely done.
The downside's pretty close to priced in. I mean, you could make the argument to just cut a check and make 6% unlevered and refinance, when it calms down a little bit.
Interesting.
What
So
do you got, Seth? Post
this-
Avenue.
this is something similar.
So
Post
tell everybody
Avenue-
where Post Avenue is.
Yeah, right off of Dykeman Street in Inwood. This is a 49 unit walk-up apartment building. Similar sort of pricing here to the Brooklyn deal, $120,000 a unit, slightly higher cap rate and slightly lower cap rate here and price per unit. But we have a handful of preferential rents in here. The rent roll is, look, it's a low rent roll, $1,100 a month with rising expenses is obviously hard to stomach, but this building, you can take a look. It's been like really well maintained here. Let me show you some photos. Look at this, gut renovated. The seller bought this building before the rent laws for significantly more money. They put in several $1 million, brand new boiler, new electrical, renovated lobby. I mean, this is a really nice, there's nothing for you to do here. Here, you can see where it is. So this is the retail strip. This is Dykeman and where the subway is over here. And then also Nagel is another retail strip. So you're sandwiched in between two main retail corridors. And it's just a really nice, well-maintained apartment building that used to go for 13, 14 times the rent roll. And now you can buy it for 8.5 or 9 times at 120,000 a door. So
140 bucks
these
a
rent
foot. Those are
stabilized
cheap
buildings
rents.
where people put in so much capex, and kind of after they're closing, it kind of reminds me of a new building going up where all the people that bought the condos at the wrong time for the developer, the ones that made all the money, and all the people that did all the hard work of actually getting them to this place, basically get back their money or lose it all. So
yeah, here, look,
this is market timing.
in the last 5 years, this is what the owner spent on the building, $767,000. $767,000. So more than 10% of the current purchase price is what the owner spent on the building in the last 5 years. I mean, that's really significant.
So this just hit the market. This will sell pretty quickly, no?
Yeah, this just hit the market. We sold a few other buildings for this seller in the past couple of months. So this is a really motivated seller, and they're looking to divest of this sooner rather than later. So anyone who's interested, please feel free to reach out. Happy to show you the building. See you next time.
Cheap bricks, call Seth. Medium price bricks, call Koicim.
You guys soon.